Earlier this year, at the beginning of the COVID-19 crisis, I was living in another apartment where I shared the unit with the landlord, actually. And I got into a little bit of a sticky situation because I had become too close to the landlord. We were talking about preparing for COVID, what we planned to do during COVID, and how I had all this extra time to write my computer games, how to take advantage of the financial market. And I treated her almost like a friend, and it really backfired when I needed to renew the lease. So Governor Inslee of Washington signed an order that we would be allowed to renew the lease at the rate that we were renting at, unless the owner had to sell the unit, which wasn't the case. And unfortunately, I became way too close to her. She tried to get me out of there, and it just made me very uncomfortable. I ended up writing a very stern email to her, and we could never look at each other the same again. And long story short, at other places I lived at, and at other professional interactions since then, I've been very hesitant about making friends with people that I know of. So, for example, at this new place, so I showed you guys in the previous video how to make some disinfectants with electrolysis. I hesitated on telling the landlord what I was doing with the batteries and the wiring and all that. Just that you could check this out at this YouTube video. I didn't want us to get close again in case I needed to negotiate anything. Oh, that's a big weakness of mine. Many years ago, I was also living in another unit with the landlord, and the landlord he's a little bit older than me, and he had some misconceptions. He was worried about a crock pot that I had plugged into the wall during the day while I was out at work. He thought it was a hazard. He probably never used anything like that in his life. He had all these little annoying things that made living there uncomfortable, and I could have been more stern with him, except I was too friendly with him. I was sharing with him all the computer games I was writing and all that. See, what makes me really nervous about going back to the office after COVID-19, well, I've already gone there, but going there full time after COVID-19, is that there are so many personal things that have to be shared. Obviously, at some point, I'm going to request some vacation time. At some point, we're all going to be sick, right? Maybe one of us will get COVID-19. Who knows? And we'll have to share that, obviously, because we're going to miss work, right? Or even something as benign as what are you doing this weekend? I really have to think hard about how I'm going to handle those interactions. I want to answer as little as I can. Part of the problem is that my choice of vacation is a lot different than a lot of other people's choice of vacation. And I work with a lot of Asian people. I love going to Japan, but some of my coworkers have some issue with Japan. So I'm thinking I'm going to keep it short and simple. I'm going on vacation from day A to day B. Oh, where are you going? Just to relax, right? I used to get way too detailed. Oh my God, I'm going to Japan. I hope to go mingle with some people there, maybe play some shogi at a tournament, blah, 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 blah. And it seems benign, but when it comes to negotiating anything work-related, people know that I kind of have a bond to that place, and I lose a little bit of my walk-away power every time I do that, just like I did with the landlord back in April.